Ya Allah, infidels. That's right. Lady, ask me why, tell me so. You ask me to go lie, I tell you to go low, so I go low. Taste the shit, taste it again. I like it. I'm the original God, making young lady screams my specialty. And we're about to make you scream this morning, infidels. It's Monday. Get up out of that weekend funk and let's do it the Flash way here on the Monday Locker Room, infidels. YALLA. Yo, what's good, man? Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. I know weather was kind of the shits in a lot of places, so people were kind of cooped up, but hopefully you're still getting it in fall style. And I see we're live right now, twitch.tv/Hamin Media and youtube.com Ben Hamin channel. As we relaunch Channel Attitude, things will get switched back to some live, some not, but this morning I figure why not? We're solo on the Dolo. Hacker Hamin, so let's do this locker room style. I want to say big up to Rick Vickery, feeling under the weather. Hopefully you get better, buddy, and kick out. I might have a case of the low draw flu. Just playing, but him and Man Beast had a show this weekend, so I know that takes a lot out of people, and you got to make sure you're taking your supplements, your vitamin D, your zinc, your vitamin C, because now that we're getting into cold COVID and flu season, I guess you want to keep that immune system up. So hopefully brother's getting some rest. I know I had a rough night's sleep with the Dogs of War, but we're back at it. No stopping. You can't stop the shining here at Hamin Media Group. I see my man Jay Hall, Frank, Pickle Barrel Ass, Big Evil Pops, and the big homie Amp Williams are in the house already this morning. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Everyone's doing their thing, man. Canadian Spaceman touching down on the launch pad as well. Just got back from the outer space, taking up some Star Trek fans and other people as well. So appreciate you guys hanging and banging with us this morning as we're live here, and everyone who subscribed to patreon.com/Hamin Media Group or Channel Attitude to get the premium content and support independent artists like myself and everybody we got going on. I did a fair amount of editing last night for the Amber Neal show. We're helping to promote as much as we can this week, get some clips out from the A show. Stevie Ray TV doing big things as well. Got to upload some stuff for him today. And yeah, man, Russo brand chugging along. A lot of new shows in the queue, and talent announcement here at HMG. Rad Rob hooked up a meeting with me. Man, what was it? Friday? And with Brad Shepard, who I'd never really spoken to before. I mean, I was aware of who he was online persona, but a news guy, a sheets guy with strong opinions and talking that real shit. And a whole squad on that real shit around here, 0 to 100 real quick. So yeah, I said, hey man, you do your show, and this is a Hamin Media Group, infidel group. So we're welcome Brad aboard, but hopefully you guys support him, give him a follow, and I look forward to seeing what he's gonna do over here, man. And I know Russo is excited about that too. So yeah, that's just gonna be another big week as October flies by, bro. It's the 18th. Holy shit. Like the last 2 weeks just gone. I mean, when I got back from Jamaica the 26th, it seems like forever ago, but yesterday at the same time. So crazy shit going down right now. Crazy shit last night on Drudge Report as we head into World War IV and China testing a hypersonic missile that can go around the entire Earth before they decide where they want it to hit. Should be good days ahead for everybody as we go into whatever they're trying to do with Taiwan. And I don't even pretend to understand the fucking morality or decision-making process of what they're doing, and everyone's scared because of these supply line worries and thinking about how it was when they just took away toilet paper. Now take away Christmas and watch people lose their fucking minds. So the next month should be real interesting in the political silent war chess game where they monopolize money and pretty much what we are allowed to have because the masters say so. Well, I don't know. It was good this week with Chappelle striking back against some of the censorship masters, but I think we're about to go real hot button real quick, because when you take away people's goods and services, that interrupt their normal flow of their lifestyle. That's a quick way to go from cold to hot war, man. So it's going to be real strong, man, real strong. I think in the next month and a half of moves that get made, more internet blackouts I've heard rumors of from inside military contacts, possibly up to 2 weeks. That I had heard a soft date of October 16th for a blackout. So we're 2 days past that, but let's see what they do, So it'll be real goddamn interesting, man, to see like if they could you imagine America in a 2 week media, electricity, and internet blackout? Like how that would just like some people aren't even close to being ready to handle that with responsibility, let alone their addictions to technology and media and just to get back to reading a book. Me, I'm like, it's hunting season. Shut the fucking flip the switch, bro. I'll take 2 weeks off. So I didn't get out this weekend though because it was raining like a bastard. And who wants to go walk in the woods in the in downpour rain and get soaked? You're gonna have to walk up on a deer and pretty much kick them out of their beds. And I decided not to get the flu and stay inside and watch the Giants get completely destroyed. So NFL season's over for me. I could give two tugs less. I'll always support my cousins and whatnot. They're big Bills fans, so I guess that's who we're rooting for. But they've been known to blow it in the 11th hour time and time again. So yeah, Allah, yeah, blowing it like Ron Jeremy out there. But yeah, hopefully everything with you guys is going strong, man. I didn't see too much other news. Bill Clinton in the hospital, just got out after 5 days of sepsis. I mean, I thought maybe we could get him. I thought he was going out there. I mean, anybody in that Illuminati clique, I got no love for those hoes. So I don't give a shit what office you held. You're a war criminal, profiteer, human trafficker, sex offender. You're not high on my list. But Ben Hamin, yes, will never be destroyed. Somebody else who's high on the list. Big shout out is Tony Khan. He responds to the report on how WWE feels about him. AEW president, CEO, and general manager, head of creative, TK, took to Twitter this afternoon and responded to an article on how WWE officials really feel about him and the funding to keep AEW going. As noted earlier in the latest issue of Meltzer's sheet, said there's a perception within WWE that Khan will spend so much and lose so much money in the long run as he keeps AEW going. It was also noted that internally people are making comments to the chairman and CEO Vince McMahon, about how we beat Ted Turner, and Ted Turner's smarter than Tony Khan. And those comments were prevalent within the company. In an update, Khan took to Twitter this afternoon and said, it's possible Turner is smarter than, but Ted knew nothing about pro wrestling compared to Khan, who grew up as a fan of the business. Khan said if Turner did, WCW would still be around. And then he declared AEW is here to stay. He said, quote, I've never met Ted Turner. It's very possible Ted Turner is smarter than me, but he didn't know 1% of what I know about professional wrestling, or WCW would still be in business on TNT, TBS. AEW is here to stay. Watch Rampage live tonight on TNT or watch TNT app on your phone or any device, Khan wrote. Okay. So there's, again, skewed truth in here. I don't know Ted Turner. I don't know Tony Khan. Who's smarter? I don't know. Are they either of them Mensa geniuses or anything like that? One seems like Southern redneck hillbilly who's infatuated with power. The other guy seems like Middle Easterner who's a total wrestling mark and a mark for himself. So it's not like Uncle Ted had to be on camera putting himself over and I wrote this. He was just a billionaire who hired the right people to be in competition. So as a businessman, I would say he's far ahead of Khan in diversity of his portfolio, his assets. Not that Khan doesn't have it with Jackson and Jacksonville, who got their first win. And whatever the soccer team is that got to Fulton, Chelmsford, West proper, I think it was. So it's a skewed argument to any degree. And also Ted Turner was like in his 60s or 50s, 60s when he got into wrestling, and Khan's not. Um, and it's just the skewing of it. And WWE is blind in that too, because Khan does have a point that I'm a wrestling fan and I know history, and you better know your history so you wouldn't have to ask me who the hell you were thinking, Buffalo Soldier Dreadlock Rasta, and to learn from it. However, Khan seems to emulate the things that doomed WCW. So, which is over bloated rosters and things along those lines, and stepping on business and all that kind of stuff, man. So there's a point there that WWE has, but that they have, but WWE is also blind to it in the fact of thinking they're over. And no, this guy will waste tons of money, dude. If he's got that Arab money, inshallah, he's gonna fucking keep punching away at you. Where and not that he's not diverse, Ted Turner didn't give a fuck. Like well, they were trying to go to war with Ted. Ted wasn't like wringing his hands together thinking about WWE while he's got to run CNN and every other goddamn thing, So, like the arguments always get skewed in this weird way. But the main thing that's fucked up is, why does Khan sell for this stuff? Why, like, all that WWE has to do now is go, look at this guy. He's such a mark for the business and trying to compete with us that all we have to do is put out a rumor that's trickled down from talent to the sheets via Pat Buck to Mike Johnson. And then fucking Khan, it will get back to Meltzer, and Khan will sell for it openly and make himself look like a fanboy Mark and like a real boss, especially as much as Khan's got on his plate, man. Why would you take time to even put that over and sell for it? Like, it's just a bad fucking look as a top guy. Just be like, if somebody's going to ask you that and fucking an interview, the thing to do is go, I'm not selling for that bullshit. Instead, he bites on it every time, hook, line, and sinker, and has to put himself over and like quantify these questions that are asinine, that don't deserve a real answer. And WWE's like, got him. Doesn't matter what his answer is. He's marketing and selling for it. He looks like a mark in front of people. So there's a lot of big brother moves where he's got to fucking just stop with that shit and fucking or come right back over the top and go, Ted Turner's smarter than Vince McMahon. Doesn't mean just because Vince won that he's not. Stupid people win all the time. And then and downplayers, they'll be like, yeah, I'm stupid. You're right, bro. I'm a fucking idiot. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me at all, man. You guys are the best. You're doing everything awesome over there. Just really killing it at WWE. Your creative is great, and there's no way that you're doing anything wrong. But I hope to be as good as you one day. And hit him with the facetiousness. But nah, we got to sell for it on Twitter, and now everybody looks like a fucking fanboy, multi-billionaire. It really exposes what it does. It exposes billionaires as being stupid as fuck, as being small, as being triggered, as being like all this money that you think breeds success. It doesn't breed mental stability or a cutthroat acumen. It really doesn't. And why? Because people who are usually the most successful, and I'm not trying to put Mike Tyson, on a pedestal here with sexual assaults or whatever, but like it's people from the gutters or people from down low that have to fight and scrap for everything that will end up being the best in the world. Those who've had it handed to them and second generation children of somebody who started something else will never reach any potential of world grand champion level. And Vince McMahon is that, as well as Tony Khan. So I'm not sure where Ted Turner's money came from, but I'm sure Daddy had something to do with it as well. And I'm sure it probably goes back to some fucking plantation in 1810, but it's just ridiculous that this guy keeps selling for a rumor on the sheets when he's got numbers that are down by 60%, and you're patting yourself on the back for being smart, but your numbers are dwindling in a shorter amount of time than what happened to WCW. Like if you're a big analytics guy, which he is, lay the graphs over, watch WCW go up, stay on top for 2 years, and then plummet. I haven't seen the on top part from AEW, not once yet. So before we start talking all that yippity yap bullshit, you better make sure that the analytics match the argument if you're a numbers guy, you know what I mean? And Then this week when they went head to head with SmackDown, but before that, for whatever it was, the load in or whatever it's called, I guess they had like 90,000 on their YouTube, where Khan was like, "We're gonna smash them head to head, commercial free," and I think that was when it was Becky versus Sasha. And holy shit! Well, I'll break it down with Stevie on the SmackDown review later today. But dude, that match was a banger, man. And I wasn't ready to turn for Punk versus I don't even know who the fuck he fought. Oh, Punk versus Seidel. And I do want to watch that match because I'm a huge Matt Seidel guy. Great dude. But in the middle of that match, there wasn't like, all right, I'm leaving this. And when we knew we were getting Brock in the main event. So 98,000, they're telling me in the chat. Thanks to Society Reviews and Mike Martin while watching it live after all that shit talk. And then I think when it came in as the show was like 500,000 to 768,000 because SmackDown was on FS1 and not main Fox. So SmackDown takes a huge hit, almost 1.4 million loss from being on the other night on a different channel plus AEW. So really, if you combine their numbers with 700 and whatever plus thousand, we'll call it 800,000 and 500,000 from AEW from switching nights and not really promoting it the right way. That's 1.3 million. SmackDown does 2 on average. So where did 700,000 fans go? Baseball? Maybe, but did we not promote things how we should have and really gear up this war and do that shit? Even on Wednesday, people were looking for Dynamite, going, where is it? What happened? Where's the fucking show, Joe? And maybe the week before we should have done some promotion to let people know we were going to Saturday. I don't know. I'm no booker of the year and shit like that, but I know a little bit. And really, they should both be embarrassed. Again, this is the lowest days in wrestling, creative wise, misuse of top talent wise, and storyline wise, and with no epic must see performances or stories that you can't tune into. Plus, the format is shit that doesn't leave you with any cliffhangers. So, why the fuck would they turn into the secondary show or secondary channels to watch a show that has nothing built up? Was there any build up to CM Punk Seidel? Zero. So what is, just because you're relying on the fact that he's CM Punk, that means you're a mark for him and yourself, thinking that it's going to get over, and you're talking shit going into this, and then you get your fucking ass blistered. And then what's your response? You wait for WWE to some little thing to come out so you can put yourself over as a master of the universe again. It's just like, why is nobody saying stop this shit now? We've got 50 other problems to deal with. I don't want to see you on Twitter. I don't want to see you fucking talking about competition and we're going to beat them, because every time you do that and you lose, you just look like fools, absolute fools. And WWE's product is so trash, but they've got a 40-year head start on you that there's going to be no way without great creative, great marketing, and turning your fans into your engagers and really putting your show out there for you and bringing in new people. You just can't throw those types of stones, man, because they're only going to ricochet and do a flip and hit you back in the face. Water. Joe Dombrowski, good guy, confirms multi-year agreement with MLW, teases other projects. Look at Joe D. Got a nice MLW graphic here, man. My former WrestleZone co-host here, man. A really great announcer. Congratulations, dude. Guy works real hard, man. He's put in a lot of time and a lot of shows. Brian Pillman Memorial Show, a really good, just kind of straight man voice on commentary, even though he's out of the closet. I just use that as the, he's not a color commentary guy. So when I say straight man, it's real good for him, man. I'm glad to see he's kicking ass. And he also, let's see, what's the other opportunity? Man, this goes on forever. So, but a lot of guys MLW are doing well, man. I really like Contra Unit. Obviously, my man the Sheik, my man Blaze Haram, trying to get a foot in over there. The Samoans kick ass. Rich Holiday, probably one of the best MLW talents I've worked with and been able to direct and whatnot. Super easy to get along with and a great professional. That MLW what Court Bauer's done over there, I don't get a chance to watch it a lot except for some highlights here and there. But with the talent they got, there's a lot that you could do. I saw their dude, what is it, Hammerstone had to give up the title though because he's injured. So that kind of sucks, but that's usually how it goes when you're the top guy. You look like that, and you're putting in all the fucking big bumps and big time. It's only a matter of time before you get injured, and then it's like, or you were injured and working hurt. There's injuries and there's working hurt. They're two different things. Not really, I guess, when you look at it, because you get your injury and then you're hurt and then you work that way, but work around it. But an injury that takes you off the shelf, like a broken arm's different. Um, but hopefully he kicks out soon enough. And the guy is fucking super jacked. That's who you would want. I'd want to put the championship on too, to be honest with you, unless there was a heel way to get it off of him. I don't know if he just stepped down and handed it off or not, but yeah, man, Joe Dombrowski getting a gig, dude. Very cool. One of the dudes who's really worked his ass off. Another 15-year overnight success. Really sharpened his sword, and he'll do a great job, man. He knows history, he does the homework, and he's one of those very meticulous guys who brings something different, to the table. Like, he's not trying to go into biz for himself. He's trying to be kind of a very Walter Cronkite voice of wrestling, in my opinion. So, Sir Duct Tape, you in the chat has a question. He says, sorry, this isn't wrestling related, but you see the UFC card for December 11th, more jacked up and juice the gills than 80s Hogan. Hey, man, whatever, dude. Like, I think Bill Burr has got a good point on this, that soon, like legalized marijuana, you'll see legalized steroids, because we want our heroes to look a certain way. And fuck it, if everybody's on gas, then it's an equal playing field. Plus, you're going to see, much like dick pills, Viagra and Cialis taking over. Like, when 50 to 60-year-old men figure out that they can take this X amount, I'm not saying, everything in moderation, like anything in life, really. But, when they see that they can have the body that they didn't have when they were 20, 25, it's only going to take a small group of people, of men who are insecure, but are the decision makers, who are now fucking, benching 375. That shit will get pushed through, So I think Bill Burr's on with that. So, like, granted, I can knock people on the Florida water and B12 all day, but when you're on a push or not on a push, and then you go off TV and you come back in 6 weeks and you put on 40 pounds of muscle mass, well, maybe not 40, but 20, or you get fired, and then all of a sudden you're fucking shredded. Like, hey, what you learned the secret to fitness automatically the day after you got fired? That's so strange, man. Why didn't you do that for before, when you were hired? Maybe you still have a job. So the steroid abuse, I mean, it's always been this way in entertainment business. I mean, I'm not even trying to slam wrestling, dude. Look at what's the dude from Parks and Rec who's in the fucking movies, the sci-fi new movies now, Chris whatever the fuck, super jacked. How about the dude who was playing Hogan's? Tons of gas, you know what I mean? Oh, Sir Duct Tape says the card's stacked. You didn't mean everybody's on gas. Oh, I guess. When you say stacks to me, yeah, Chris Pratt. Thank you, Stevie. Like, all these, Stevie Richards in the house, all these guys in Hollywood, like, we can put steroids on whatever, Braun or fucking Buddy Murphy and guys. They're not passing the eye test at all. So, but that's pro wrestling, and you expect your larger than life stereotypical characters to look and act a certain way, like storybook style. But this shit is going on and on and on in Hollywood, man. There's no way these Hollywood actors who came from fucking NYU are just like, oh, I'm gonna get in the gym, you know. So that's just, I think, going to be the future, dude. Is what you could see is a bunch of, in the idiocracy of the future, you know, 16-year-olds all on gas. Like that'll become the new thing of like, oh, you can use it when you're 16. So Roman Reigns, he rips CM Punk, says he's lost a step or two. Yeah. During a conversation with Complex, well, I can't believe Reigns is giving fucking interviews and shooting like this, but it directly addresses the idea of one day having a match against CM Punk, the tribal chief.
That I am the head of the table, the tribal chief.
He didn't mince words when he responded to what some may consider a dream match between the top two stars. I don't. What the fuck is this stupid ad choice thing? Says something, but I can't read it because one of the Houseman's dumb fucking ads is over the copy. So I answered a question similar to this a while ago, and it falls back to what our audience wants to see. If our audience wants to see it, and they were clamoring for it and couldn't shut up about it, if all the stars aligned, as a businessman and as a performer who was trying to seek out the very best for the audience to try to captivate, I wouldn't say no. But I mean, on a personal level, it doesn't do anything for me. That's not going to elevate me at all. He's older now. I haven't really seen a full match. I've seen a clip or two, and to me, a step or two has been lost. Then also, he got whooped in UFC. Reigns continued with his candid comments, saying that someone's Punk size couldn't actually pose a threat to someone a Roman size. Further, he thinks he could easily take on the entire WWE or AEW roster. He says, "Quote: I think anybody really believes somebody 200 pounds soaking wet with not an explosive bone in their body could ever really do anything to me. I'm 6'3", 265. Me too. Well, 259 today. A legitimate athlete and who can throw some weight around and has been on the gridiron at the highest level. I'm tired of the football excuses. I fucking hate that. D1, all ACC. I probably would have maintained in the NFL if my health issues didn't happen when I was 22 years old. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, I'll throw him and pretty much the rest of the roster out of the club, no problem. They're just little brothers, you know. I like that, calling them little brothers. That's a fucking good thing. Instead of good brothers, call them little brothers. That's a stinger. That out of all this, that's the only line I take away with anything. But yeah, dude, CM Punk, man. I mean, the guy's a draw. You can get over on the mic. The pandering and are you tired of me yet? That's bullshit. Or bringing him out to do commentary for the whole show on Dynamite, wrong. That's another terrible, like, misuse of a top property, bro. You know, that's like having a diamond and fucking going and playing marbles with it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, Romans makes some good points here. Like I said, the football thing, that don't impress me much. But here's what CM Punk, what I know about him. He might have the attitude and he might have all that. It's all a work. I mean, the guy's a Chicago comic book nerd with no killer instinct in his being, you know, no, like, I'll beat that guy's ass. It's all the soft side SJW fucking straight edge society, you know, like all that kind of shit, to be anti-establishment just for the sake of being it and being woke before woke was cool. And then exposed in UFC, where I think he lived with that. And his answer to, like, how do I really prove that I'm a man? Because I'm really not, like in the normal, I guess, Wild West confines of chop wood, carry water definition of it. And then he went to UFC, trained. I'm not saying he didn't. That takes a lot of effort. And then he got his fucking ass whipped and exposed. There's some guys who are born with alpha tendencies and killer instinct. Roman Reigns is one of them. I like to think I am to some degree. And Punk's a great businessman, good on the mic, and loves this shit. I'm not saying he hasn't. Yeah, I mean, he's making millions of dollars off of his t-shirt sales and all that shit. But if you're talking a shoot, a wrestling match, or anything along those lines, he just don't have it, bro. Like, everything that's the believability about him is concocted by the Mark fans. If it came to a full hard day's work, if it came to a real fight, like 12 rounds, he's going 0 for 0. He's taking losses every time. Like, that's just how it is, man. Like like I said, I was around him enough and I've seen some character flaws. I don't need to get into that, but I know based on growing up in football, in lumberjack sports, who's a real man and who's a faker. And then being in Chicago and seeing an entire north side of soft actors like that, I can spot them a mile away. So Roman's dead on in this, and there's no way. And Punk will probably come back with something smart and witty and go over on him, but that's where that win ends. Like there is no shoot fight scenario, no sports scenario where Punk comes out on top over Roman Reigns. It just doesn't happen. One guy is a natural athlete. The other guy worked hard to learn the craft and get there, but he doesn't have the basic ones and twos to hang, you know. Yo, Jimbo, good morning. Teddy Hart, whoop that ass in TNA, says Gully Blanchard. Yeah, dude, it's really not that hard. Have you ever been next to it's like stood next to Punk? And Nova G says, yeah, Lakeview is soft. Halstead, I'll be in Boys Town at the Chicago Comics if Roman, you want to fight me. Yeah, man. So never liked Punk. You get why it might be the locker room cancer in the locker room. It's interesting because he doesn't want to play the game. So there's a lot of things I kind of like back that he goes against the, you know, the Triple H locker room lifestyle, but at the same time, you want to talk that shit. And if somebody confronts you about it, what are you going to do when they're in your face after you talked all that? And it's time to knuckle up. You're going to catch a hot beating, you know? Chelsea Green, formerly Laurel Van Ness, discusses negativity on social media, how it, quote, ruins entire careers. In an appearance on Busted Open with Matt Cardona, her fiance, wrestler Chelsea Green talked about a recent appearance on GCW where she helped Cardona win back the Internet Championship. Green is approaching her GCW run with the same attitude she had when she worked for Impact and Lucha Underground prior to signing with WWE. I felt like I've always had that attitude. I definitely kind of lost that passion and the confidence of a couple of years when I got signed. But before that, this is exactly the same thing I was doing before. I was trying to make moments for myself, and those moments translate over to social media and to the dirt sheets, and the fans think you're a star when you might not have done anything. I did nothing as the Impact Knockouts champion. I did diddly fucking squat, but people are always talking about the moments I had as the hot mess. And then I went to Lucha Underground and did 2 weeks there. I did a total of 4 days. People still talk about the match I had with Pentagon. It doesn't matter if you do 10 years or 2 days. You just have to make a moment of that time you have in the ring. Yeah, I wish she would have taken that advice while she was in NXT. I know she pitched a lot, but she was more worried about being the Diva Iconics thing when she is hot, but we've got 50 other fucking hot girls. You know, she is brilliant at character work. You know who's not brilliant at character work? The 50 other girls on the NXT roster. They all suck. They all suck at character work. Meanwhile, she's not willing to commit to the bit because she wants to be in Sports Illustrated, Swimsuit Issue, or Playboy. And yeah, she's got all the hotness to be that. There's no doubt about it. But if you're talking about making moments, she says she did diddly squat as Impact champ. That's the highest level of work you can get to, in my opinion. Everybody's talking about you. You go out and do character, and with a look, you got them. And you have to take maybe one bump, and you don't have to work, and you're still over. You're the most over. That is working. That is what being a worker is all about. That's what sports entertainment, pro wrestling is all about, to build characters that are so far out there, but play in their own universe that it draws the audience in. And then you can win by happenstance and they pop. No one gives a fuck about 5-star Meltzer matches. A 5-star Meltzer match has gotten nobody over. You can put Kenny Omega at number 1. Name me the top 3 storylines Kenny Omega has ever been in that everybody knows and references. I'll wait. 0 is the fucking answer you were looking for. So the fact that we can have Congo Kong and Laurel Van Ness in the same exact fucking scene together, and Laurel just goes and reacts to Kong, and Kong can react to her. These are two wild characters that shouldn't even be in the same universe, and here they are, man. And it's just it frustrates me because she's not gonna like what is GCW or whatever gonna really do with her. Cardona, that was a smart move to kind of be, the 90210 kid going to the trailer park. That's an interesting look, and she can help with that. But to me, I've seen the brilliance of her being able to do character. And if you can do that with Laurel Van Ness, you don't need to redo that. That just shows me that you can bring an absurd character to life. Let's find that next absurd character instead of trying to, hey, I'm in Florida, everybody. Let me stand by the fucking dock of the bay and show my fucking camel toe and ass cheeks. Am I going to look? And all the rest of the tape trader masturbators? 10 out of 10 times. But now you're just like the rest of them who are, constantly undermining their own creative because they have to have some social media addiction fulfilled by taking selfies with girls who even got fired. Here's one yesterday. Wonders why she won't get pushed. Why? Because you're on Lana's fucking Instagram showing them cooters off. I mean, that's what you're more interested in. And then even putting out fucking, let's see, what was the other one? So, and then this from somebody else in the Hamin Media Group. We're taking pictures of them taking pictures of each other, trying to look hot with girls who are fired. So then we can get the squat ass shot. But hey, take me seriously as a wrestler because I went to Tyler Breeze's fucking training center for 3 weeks. So they wonder why they'll never get it. That's why they'll never get it. They're hot. They don't protect their own creative, and the office sees all of that. It's just absolutely insane. You want that picture, Frank? It's in the Hamin Media Discussion Group or else Brand Fan Group, one of the two. Who is that? That was Liv Morgan with Lana. And once the office sees you posing with Lana, they're gonna go, why are you reminding them of the girl we fired who has heat while you're still trying to be on TV? You are showing the world that like breaking out our universe and what we want to do, and that makes us look bad. And now we're gonna make sure you go under too. And then she cries about, I've trained so hard, and why is not my time? And then like children. That's children shit right there, dude. So, but I think Chelsea Green is a phenomenal character actress. You got all the sex appeal. You got one of the sexiest guys. Your team Sexico. If you're gonna do that, then go down that road and be making out and doing all that shit, grabbing your ass and go that if that's what you want to do. But nobody wants to see Chelsea Green try and wrestle like Serena or Tessa Blanchard while being hot in some cool gear that every other girl like Lana, Liv, Sasha, like they're all lost in the fold. There's nothing that's going to make her stand out. What made her stand out was character work, commitment, absurdity, Laurel Van Ness. And it's not like bringing that back. Like I say, if you can do that character, you can do any character. You just need to commit. Adam Cole reveals AEW star helped him inspired his Bay Bay catchphrase. One of my most hated things ever. He was on with Van Vliet, and he revealed the story behind his popular catchphrase, combining inspiration from both Joey Matthews, all right, and Chris Jericho. Cole made two of their signature expressions into his own. Said, so I've been doing the Adam Cole Bay since 2009, but it didn't catch on until 2014. It kind of started early on in my career at Maryland Championship Wrestling. Joey Mercury, I was on the show, and he was in the finals of the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup. He was the heel and just walking around going, Joey Matthews, putting his fist up in the air. I've seen him do that. And so, and he said it so many times. I remember sitting there thinking that is so smart. It's if you're not really a hardcore wrestling fan, if you remember one name from the show, it's going to be Joey Matthews. So, and dude, Mercury was shredded at that time, bro, too. I remember how fucking jacked he was. So I thought, how can I incorporate that into my own thing? I'm a huge Chris Jericho fan. And when he would stand up and flex on something, go, come on, baby. I was like, oh, I'll do Adam Cole, baby. During the most difficult months of whatever. So that's a good thing. I like that. I like that. You guys have heard me say this. Good artists create, great artists steal and make it their own. He saw what Joey was doing and getting his name over with the crowd, name recognition. Dude, you want the crowd chanting your name. So why, if your catchphrase is your name and you're over, that's phenomenal, right? What a great steal. It's not like Joey did that. I've seen Merc do that a bunch of times where the crowd's dead and he's trying to get heat and whatnot. But that's a good trick. And then Cole saw it, took it, and like Jericho, took two things and made it his own. And there's not really that far from what he stole it from. It's just his own now. So, dude, I got to tip my hat to Adam Cole on that. I love that. Good artists create, great artists steal and make it their own. He made it his own. And now it's one of the most over things. Do I like it? Not really. It gets me a little hot, but it's supposed to. So it's working how it should. Smart stuff, dude. And the guy has been working a long time, bro. I'm not gonna like try and shit on him because he's a smaller dude. I mean, he's got Tom Cruise good looks, cuts a good promo. His last match I watched, I was thoroughly impressed with, not the 6-man, but his last singles. And yeah, man, the guy's got all the tools. It's just, is it believable, a guy his size? But then I say that, and we can book anybody over as champion. Rey Mysterio, a very believable champion. You just have to have the right match booked the right way, and anybody can be champ. So I like that story. Even though I'm not a fan of the catchphrase, I like how it came about, and I got a lot of respect too for the abilities and teachings of Joey Mercury. I learned a lot of valuable lessons from Joey Mercury. Some people might have issues in the last couple of years of kind of how he's handled some of his biz, leaving ROH and whatnot, but at the end of the day, Merc's always been cool to me, and he's like, you want to talk about a very guarded guy who rarely lets anybody into what his real thoughts are, and I'm not saying I'm one of those people that are that close to him, but for a while, man, like, when we were running OVW, he was the big brother to a lot of us when he was working with Jamin, when he was working with Baltimore, when he was working, with me and Power and Beast, like, a lot of good stuff. And then, after Roadkill kind of got pushed out a little bit, Merc came in and helped fill some of that. So he would run the house shows. And that's where I would learn a fair amount, like even how to deliver a safe but good looking flagpole shot. I learned from Joey Mercury, dude. So like that, there's a lot of little things that I owe him for. I know a lot of people feel a certain way based on kind of what he's done. You've heard me say it before, never miss a chance to shut the fuck up. That's Joey Mercury 101 right there. But then he kind of broke that code of omerta himself, I guess, trying to expose during the Me Too movement, and it's no secret that he's had issues with addiction before. So I always hope that he's in a good spot, but he's such a ninja in this fucking business that it's tough to keep tabs on him, man. And if he's got heat with somebody else, like, that's just how it goes in the fucking locker room. So, but always whenever we catch each other on the road, it's always good with Merc, man. Always. And Jericho, who'd he ever beat? The Innova G, a great point here. I will bring that up for two, man. Said, yeah, they say Joey Mercury was like the fourth member of the Shield, how much it helped him. That's what Joey Mercury can do. He'll take 4 guys, he'll take a whole locker room, really, and who are got potential but don't know what the fuck they're doing, and make it so simple for them where the 3 will have their own part and you feel confident. Joey can break it down like that and really make a segment from a B to an A with guys who really even shouldn't even be out there. I'm not saying Roman, Moxley, and Seth shouldn't be out there, but I've seen him do it in developmental with, guys who are way under. So when you're playing with those types of characters, it's going to look great. And yeah, they always said Merc is their dude. And that should go to show you that if Moxley's on top, they don't say anybody else really. They say Joey Mercury, you know. Roman's on top, and fucking Seth's doing great work now too. And it took them that long to all kind of find their voices. When they were the Shield, sure, it looks good, and they're coming through the crowd and they're sexy, and you hear the moms and whatnot going nuts and little kids. But none of them got that. None of them understood wrestling while they were in the Shield, like really at a master's level. They were still kind of freshmen or sophomores in undergrad, in my opinion, while they were doing that kind of shit. And now you see Roman.
You are my tribal chief.
And like shining at the top, doing a goddamn mafia, Godfather angle. Michael Corleone, very, very cool. Like the highest level stuff we have on TV on any show is Roman stuff. You see Seth doing now the Joker kind of gimmick, and really he's just started to come into his own since he worked Dominic, and now this program with Edge is very, very good. And I like what Seth is doing, how he's slow playing it. There's a couple promo things we might punch up, but this is the best work Seth has ever done. And then Moxley didn't get it till he went to AEW, so and it really is all about pushing the little birdies out of the nest. But first, you got to keep them safe together so predators don't pick them apart. And that's what Mercury's best. And Merc went through all that shit too. When Eminem, bro, I remember when they came back to OVW and there was all the big heat because I think it was, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it was Morrison's family had bought those big ass fur coats for them for when it was Mercury, Molina, and Nitro. And they had left them backstage. And I heard rumor that it was JBL and the Godfather that fucking cut off the sleeve. They cut off one sleeve of these these coats. I think those coats were like $2,500 each. I heard they'd spent like $5-6 grand on them, and to rib them. And like, what are you going to do? Like, that was a toxic environment. I don't know if they took some Brutus the Barber hedge clippers or whatever, but fucking cut the sleeve off it, and they're testing you to see if you're going to go nuts. And like, I'm sure Vince and them are waiting too. And then they just came out the next week with one sleeve because those guys were so cool, young, athletic, and sex appeal. It would look good for them to have one sleeve. They don't give a shit, man, but that's an inside rib to test. Like, I'll ruin your $5,000 in jackets. What the fuck you going to say? You want to go back to OVW? Say something. And everyone's looking to see how they're going to get tested. They want you to come back. Who the fuck did this? Let's go and fight, right? Like, these are the tests. And never miss a chance to shut the fuck up, okay? And then, dude, with Mercury, the one thing that'll really stick out, I talked to them a couple times, dude, that fucking ladder spot to the face in the tag match, bro, where they take the teeter-totter and he gets blasted, and just so nasty, all those stitches. I remember when he came back, how fucked up he was for like a month after that, dude. So I know people feel one way or another about Merc, and I say the same thing about Punk because I feel kind of the same way too. And Punk and Merc are tight, bro. You want to talk, when I say Cool Kids Club, that's the Cool Kids Club. And with Cody and them when they were there, but they were always good to me. I just seen them treat guys who didn't have the alpha male gene a lot worse. And I try not to do that. I'm not saying I don't do that, but because I'm a human being, but sometimes it could get out of hand between those guys, And especially I would always say, bro, you just got your merch and shit or your gear fucked up. Why would you? And not that Merc would come back and put heat on guys, but like, I'd hope you have a better understanding for under guys after that. You know what I mean? Instead, we kind of pass on that toxicity in this weird mafia. Somebody asked in the chat room, where Roadkill go? I think Kill's in Philly, maybe. But dude, you want to talk about Roadkill is like a very smart businessman, dude. He knows this collectible Comic-Con toy industry probably better than anybody, bro. Like, the guy knows how to flip everything from those Funkos to WWE figures to he's real into the horror movie and sci-fi stuff too. So I think Kill's doing okay, man, based on what he does there and internet sales and things along those lines. He's an interesting dude, like kind of king of the no sell, like real humpy and frumpy most of the time, but like, you know, a good enough dude, one of the boys. He never fucked with me. Again, I seen him fuck with a lot of underguard guys because they were made dudes. I had always wanted to learn a little bit more from Roadkill because I love them too in ECW. Dude, I remember watching him and Doring and live at Holiday Hell Tour 97, Jamestown. I was just like, because I had watched him obviously on TV, but when I saw him do some of the shit off the ropes, I was just like, holy fuck, look at this big athletic son of a bitch. And then when we got to OVW and he was there, I was pumped because I was such a Hamin mark. I was like, dude, I can't wait to learn some Hamin shit from Roadkill. And I never really got any of that. Maybe one or two little lessons, but you know, then they had, because Roadkill wanted to get back up on TV like everybody does, not just to be there at developmental. And he changed into this Polish character that he reminded me of the brother in Godfather when he comes to like sit down in the courtroom and fucking Frank Pantangeli doesn't say shit after that, right? But what the fuck was his Polish character? If anybody can look that up, I'd appreciate that. I'm having a fucking brain aneurysm now, dude. Yeah, I love the chickens, J Cred. I loved all that stuff. The Amish Taker. I thought that was great shit, dude. And I'm surprised the Amish group hasn't made a return. And I'd bring him in as my manager. You know, like that shit could get over on the indies, no doubt about it. Bredowski. Oh, Stevie, it's close to that. Oh, what the fuck was it? I can't remember what the fuck it was, man. It's something close to that. I'm sure Stevie's got great Amish Taker stories as well. Let's see. Adam Cole, baby. WWE slashes ticket prices for Raw in Long Island as AEW nearly sells out the same venue. Oh boy. Whoa, baby. What the hell's going on over here? Brad Cows. God damn it, that's going to drive me nuts. WWE slashed ticket prices for the UBS Arena in Long Island on November 29th, according to WrestleTix. Reportedly noted that WWE has distributed 3,130 tickets thus far. Amish Roadkill. Anthony Pulaski, that's what it was. And then he was Tony Braddock, but Pulaski was the first one. And he wore tights and no shirt and shaved his beard and had like his thinning hair like oily. Whoa, discount, baby. But dude, he was killing guys in the corner. Like that was his thing, was a big Vader splash in the corner. So that was an interesting, like, old school look. I liked the Anthony Pulaski bit. But it never, he had gone up and had a couple tryouts, I think, with it, but they didn't want it on the road. So Canadian spaceman with the fake news. Everybody thinks I dye my beard at all. I'm just bald. I don't dye my beard. I use CanYouHandlebar.com wisdom products, dry oils, wet oils, and shampoo, beard shampoo. And even Can You Handlebar says we don't put any dyes in our stuff, so we're not sure. Like, because somebody, I was like, because I tweeted that, I was like, dude, I don't dye my fucking beard. It's just natural. That they're like, our product really doesn't put color back in people's beards. I'm like, yes, it fucking does. Maybe just my gray hairs get stripped out because of nutrients, and it works. But to be honest with you, I've never colored my hair. I wish I had hair up top, but I don't. But zero just for men. Not to say that I won't, but that I never have. That's a shoot, bang, bang. But go to CanYouHandlebar.com. Great website, great guys in the beard and mustache competitive game. I like the Wisdom scent. I think it's the best out of them all. I've tried their whole product line. They're all good, but for me, it's Wisdom. And give them a follow on Twitter at Can You Handlebar, and on Instagram, and tell them Hacker Hamin sent you, because they send me a lot of great product. And if you want, I've tried a lot of beard oils. They all work pretty good and similar, but Can You Handlebar, I like their products the best. As reported, whoa, baby, 3,130 tickets after announcing an appearance from Roman Reigns.
And I am the head of the table, the tribal chief.
Current ticket prices for Raw are now lower than AEW ticket prices in most, if not all, sections. Well, does that mean that is AEW selling those $4 nosebleeds again? And does that mean WWE has $3 nosebleeds? Meanwhile, Dynamite has sold 7,639 tickets so far and are close to selling out the venue. They have distributed nearly 80% of the allotted tickets. Both WWE and AEW are set to debut in the new UBS Arena, future home of NHL's New York Islanders. Islanders suck. Sorry, Mondo. The November 29th episode of Raw will be the first ever pro wrestling event at the venue. A few days later, on the 8th, AEW will air a live episode of Dynamite and subsequently tape Rampage. As noted earlier, AEW has been outpacing WWE in ticket sales for the upcoming events at the UBS Arena ever since the two companies announced the plan to visit the venue. Upper decks were $30. Some are now available for $15 for WWE. So we're slashing prices. We can't have tarps up there, pal. Not when goddamn Khan's coming in. So, yeah, dude. In Long Island, which is, historically a psychopathic wrestling area. Seems that AEW's hitting right now, but WWE, they're going to have to do something. If AEW's got almost 8,000 sold and WWE's slashing prices at 3,100, not a good look, Briz. That should fucking tell you that we need to make changes very quickly. What can you even do for that show at the end of November that's going to be like sell you 5,000 tickets out of nowhere? Like, all you can do is a big surprise of a returning, like you got to have a Stone Cold on the show or a Rock or somebody along those lines. Then like you got to really promote it for 3-4 weeks ahead of time that Stone Cold returns for that Raw or some shit if you want to get numbers up in Long Island. Otherwise, it's Hamin's Americans tarp team to the rescue. JBL, he details the hardest thing to learn in pro wrestling. He talks about, he went on his YouTube channel, talks about the experience he learned from Vince McMahon. Yeah. The number one rule is always hit Blue Meanie as hard as you can with a chair. They always say the light goes on, and that's true. It's about timing. It's not about moves. Most people can learn moves. It's about timing. I remember one time we were in Canada and Vince asked me, this is when I was JBL, what's your promo? And I had this promo where I tell them they suck and America's better and all this blah, blah, blah. And he said, no, just tell them that you love them. And I thought about it. I thought, I think that's going to work. I went out there. I said, I just wanted to let you all know that I love you. I think you're the greatest. So proud of you being our neighbor. People booed me out of the building. Being a heel is not about shouting out you suck and people shouting you suck back. You can always get a response. It's about believing that you're the good guy. JBL always thought about that he was the good guy. JBL thought he was on the right side of everything, and that's what added to people hating JBL. It says, how can you be that out of touch? And to me, that part of it, the psychology and the timing, is the hardest thing to learn. Wow, great advice there. I say character. I don't think that's timing what he's talking about. To me, timing is selling up and being in the spot in the right way. I guess character-wise, timing's listening to the crowd and taking a break and knowing when to say the right thing and being in the moment. But to me, that's all character work, that type of timing and being in the moment. I do like the fact that he thinks his character was always on the right side of everything. That is very George Bush Jr. And that's what I like in that character too. I'm not into the big, I always hated cowboy gimmicks. I always think they suck. I still do, to be honest with you. Any of that fucking Wild West shit, because I'm a Northeastern guy who doesn't fucking put over some shit from 1860 where guys are still trying to play howdy doody when they're 40 years old. So that shit didn't impress me much. But that's good stuff. And I also like the positive thing of what you believe and having them heal. Because right now, after decades of you will bow before me or I'll raise your gas prices, you moron, all I have to do now is go out and be super happy that, no one has ever brought up on 9/11 charges inside the government, that Afghanistan has won, that gas is now $3.45, that Joe Biden is an incompetent moron who's easily overtaken, that China is the real world superpower. Like, I just have to be happy about those things. I don't need to be angry, and people lose their mind because their complacency for 20 years and knowing what the truth was, as those chickens have now come home to roost and they don't want to deal with it and they have to. So, there's being a badass heel who's happy drives them almost more towards extreme anger. I like that. No, I want to save that one. Let's see here. Backstage notes on WWE producers for last week's SmackDown. Okay. Fightful Select has a report on the producers who handled various segments on last week's SmackDown matches. What the fuck? Happy Talk was produced by Sean Davari. Oh my God. Sorry, Sean. Adam Pierce was assigned the producer for the Seth Rollins segment. I like that one. Shane Helms was producer for Carmella versus Zelina Vega Queen's Crown segment. Sorry, dude. I feel bad for Davari and Hurricane having to fucking produce that shit. Or they need to find a way to punch it up so it actually means something instead of just being yes men. And Abyss produced Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn, King of the Ring tournament. Dude, that was a great match. That was a really, really good segment. So good for Abyss, man. Why they never used Abyss or the Joseph Park character is crazy to me, bro. That there's another guy, commitment to the another guy here. I mean, he's got all the skills in ring. Maybe he's out of shape now and past his prime to some degree, but one of the boys fully, obviously, and a dude who can get over funny and absurd characters. The Park stuff was great as a reinvention, and I think a good tip of the hat to wrestling. And I think you could do more. If anybody was gonna, I would look at Abyss as a fucking GM more than I would look at Pierce, to be honest with you. Not that I don't respect Pierce and what he's done, but like, I can see more character from Abyss being a fucking top authority figure is all. Braun Strowman, you might have heard of him. He reportedly meets with Impact's executive VP, according to PW Insider Stooges. He met with Scott D'Amore. He was spotted meeting, and so where they were seen talking at a hotel bar near the Motor City Comic-Con in Detroit, Michigan last night. D'Amore apparently arrived first and waited until Sheer joined him. The two men then sat for a long time as the discussion carried on. There's still no confirmation if Adam Shearer signed a deal since his release from WWE, but we'll keep you updated. There's heavy interest in bringing him in. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put him on the roster full time, but I mean, there's a lot of money there, dude. Moose versus him would be the program I'd like to see. I just, Moose was on 2 CW shows and just looks absolutely phenomenal. Not that he was in shitty shape before, but now he's, one of a kind in the wrestling business, is a phenomenal D1 athlete. And really, not that he had any baby fat, but he's so lean for being so muscular. I think that would be a good look, Moose versus Braun, dude, for sure. And then you could also have, I haven't watched Impact in like 3 months or so since I stopped reviewing and turned it over to the vet, Colin and Brandon. So they're doing a great job. Thank you for taking that off my plate. As much as I loved watching Impact kind of since the beginning here, I just have so much going on. I also think that Cody Deaner and Joe Doring and Eric Young, their crew could, and Rhino would be a good, heel crew to attack him. And then he can align or even bring back in EC3 if he needs to have his back. There's a lot going on. Let's go, Brandon. But Braun versus Moose is where the money is, in my opinion, dude. I think I wouldn't sign Braun to a long-term, like 1-year deal. I'd have him for like 10 appearances. You could get 2 good storylines done and paid off in 10 appearances. That's 4 TVs and a pay-per-view. I wouldn't go past that and see how things go because, dude, Impact's viewership was the lowest, third lowest in Access TV history last week. Again, some of the best producers, some of the best workers in a locker room that I heard that's pretty strong because that's all they got right now for some reason. I mean, what is the solution for Impact to go from 160,000 to 500,000? Like that's like we got to set that goal and come up with a bunch of solutions on how we're going to get there. Now, Braun Strowman is a very good solution to possibly get them to 300,000, 400,000. I think so. Well, Classified Chappie says RIP Impact soon. I can't say that, man, because we've heard that 50 times. Society Review says they had 85,000 people watching. I thought they had 160,000, but 85,000 is rough, bro. I think they're still on Twitch. You might have to pay for it. I'm not sure, but that's crazy to me. Jay Cred says Tony Khan's plotting to buy Impact. You wait and watch and see. I don't know. Would you want to buy a toxic asset? Like what? Everybody who's watching Impact already watches WWE and AEW. I mean, of that, let's say there is 85,000. Let's say there's 160,000. We'll split it. Like let's just call it 100K. How many of those are just exclusive Impact watchers? 500. You know. Alex Hero chimed in. Not sure if I saw this. Colin Powell's dead. Who killed him? You know, I mean, that's what I want to know next. Was it a Hillary Clinton hit? Really, you know, an American general and whatnot. And you can say anti-patriotic, but anybody who sided up with George Bush and Dick Cheney and Condoleezza Rice, if they all got fucking tied to the post tomorrow and executed as traitors, you wouldn't see me fucking bat an eyelash, bro, to be honest with you. COVID got him. Well, thank you, COVID. I really just don't have any patriotism that's for nostalgia effect of being like, well, he was a shitbag, but he was an American soldier, so I salute him. Like, no, you're a war profiteer, a criminal who didn't stand up and do the right things when you should have and went along with it. And that's the choices you made. So for me to try and look back at some retrospective and be like the greatest American hero who was put in a certain, you know, category, Nobby. You got to that top level, you're in on all the shit, and you still let them invade countries and kill hundreds of thousands of people and didn't stand up for 9/11 truth while the NSA took all of our rights away. Patriot Act. I don't sit up here and wax nostalgic over, well, he was a minority who made it farther than anybody else. Well, fuck off with that. I don't really care, dude. So let's go, Brandon. Wow, these are 3 tough stories. You guys, I'll let you guys in the chat room pick it up. We got door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3. Let's get your votes in now for the final 3 stories. All look to be somewhat bangers. So let's get the votes in now. You're listening to the Monday Locker Room here at Hamin Media Group, patreon.com/Hamin Media Group. Channel Attitude should be up there as well.com when I get it uploaded later today. The new home for the paywall of HMG, but we're live right now as we're in transition. It might not always be like this, but I wanted to say what's up to my people. The loyalists, 31 strong here, mainly on YouTube. If you guys can go to twitch.tv/Hamin Media and subscribe there. Always trying to get those numbers up, and Hamin Media Group on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 there. If you guys aren't subscribed there and you could, that'd be a big help. I mean, that one's free as well, but looks like door number 2, door number 3. I'm going to go with door number 3 because door number 2 is pretty hot. But Mustafa Ali on making history with Mansoor at Crown Jewel. Ali took to Twitter to comment on his upcoming match at Crown Jewel. He commented how they'll be the first 2 Muslims to have a singles match on a pay-per-view. He says, though I wish some circumstances were different, I'm still thankful for the first time ever for 2 Muslims will have a singles match on WWE pay-per-view. I'm thankful for one night, KS Manny, and what I get to be what we wanted to be growing up. yeah, but this is also on the heels of him bitching and moaning that on SmackDown his match didn't get a graphic in the go home billboard for it, which is interesting leave off, right? So we have this, and Stevie and I talked about this on the Friday locker room. I told Kaz not to cut it because I really don't want to hear from Ali bitching about shit, to be honest with you. I already had to get looked up and down by him at an indie show once, and I'm just like, whatever, dude. He wonders why he's not over. He wonders why he doesn't have opportunity. He does have opportunity. He's on TV. He's with Retribution. It's the fact that they don't know how to play this shit or get it over the right way or go against the stereotypes that he doesn't want to perpetuate. And guess what? The rest of the world doesn't see you as a woke Arab who's leading the charge of Americanization in the Middle East, and that this is a fucking huge thing. Now, Muslims and Middle Easterners might say, yeah, it is a huge thing, you know, and it could be for them. But now you're trying to pander and play the baby face outside of the realm of the heel that you're playing, as you just healed on Mansoor, instead of giving a quality heel statement where you could put over, yeah, we're the first two, but there's only going to be one, me, Ali, the greatest Muslim wrestler of all time. And I'm taking it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in front of the royal family to show that this guy's nothing more than a commoner. And it's about me, Ali. We don't get any of that. We get more SJW. This is the first time historic, and everybody should like us. And why am I not getting billboarded? And why am I like the crying of it, of like, it's just so Chicago to me, bro. It really is, of what I've seen in the improv community there, what I've seen earlier, what I said was talking about Punk in the Lakeside. I'm a tough guy, but really I'm the most sensitive little fragile woke comic book nerd at the end of the day, cut from the same cloth. A lot of skills, a lot of good looks, not the alpha or the alpha brain that needs to show how am I going to get myself over and this guy. Yeah, he'll probably get COVID 7 times on the back of the head, Stevie. I agree that. Stay away from cranes. That'd be my big fucking big advice there. But dude, and this is what it is here, and it'll always get Stooge back. And I'm sure when he gets released by WrestleMania next year and sees me on the indies, he'll fucking look me up and down and be like, fucking why you're ruining it for my people. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go out and steal the show based on character doing nothing. You make sure you go out, you do a couple dives, and then we'll see, and that's just really it. Like, you want to have some integrity for race and I can respect that, but the wrestling ring isn't always the place to do that when we're supposed to play larger than life stereotypical characters. Now, if that was your bit and you want to fucking call that out and really make something out of it, then I'm with that. But to do one thing on camera and then go to Twitter and go to complain about the little things and then also want to be the babyface spokesman for the race, well, now you've just split 3 different ideas. Your on-camera character, your personal vendettas against fucking inequality and justice, and you're pandering to a religious and faction or whatever you want to go, patriotism to some degree. So pick one and commit to it, because the splitting of all 3 undercuts everything of each one of them, and none of them will get over that way. So deep dish is awesome. It's okay. New York's way better. Deep dish just puts you to sleep and give you a stomach ache, man. Yeah, he complained earlier that he was given no opportunities, right? Retribution is a huge opportunity. Fucking just being the Arab guy, huge opportunity. Leo Rush, the businessman. Leo Rush is determined to become the first ever Black AEW World Champion. Okay, bro. AEW, new interview with Forbes, probably with Kanoa. Leo discussed a variety of topics regarding the company's work for New Japan and AEW. In case of New Japan, Leo says he felt a place he felt destined to arrive at eventually, even before his WWE run. New Japan is such an incredible place, said Rush. The history, the amount of respect it has from its viewers, people who are fans and who are wrestlers. I feel like New Japan just has that aura. Yada yada. I'm not here to put over New Japan. Dude, if this guy really believes that, and again, we can make anybody champ. Size doesn't mean anything. Story to get him there means everything. But who here believes that before before Hobbs that you would put Lio Rush as your champion? The little thing, he just declared himself Dante Martin's tag partner now that Dante Martin's out, and Dante Martin lost his match, but now he's his tag partner. So that's going to really help him. So now you're in a tag, but you're saying you're going to be AEW world champion. Again, these are children who don't understand or get the business fully. You don't go on an interview when you just on TV were declared a new tag partner with a guy and then put yourself over as a future black world champion when the focus is on you and Dante Martin getting over. But let me go into biz for myself and put this shit over that is completely unreal, that nobody would believe that Lio Rush is world champion without a huge set of circumstances getting to it. You know what I mean? And the reality is this guy's got a track record of running his mouth and fucking up his own business left and right to where he has to leave. So, there's 50 guys, African-American guys, that I would put over as world champ before. Like, if anybody's coming in to be the first African-American world champ, it's Moose, right? Like, you're going to go, you know what? We could have Moose in a cold match out of nowhere and become world champ, or we could build Lio Rush for 4 months, 5 months on the way, and then give him the title. Which one of those guys on the poster is going to draw more money as your champ? Moose, Hobbs, or Lio Rush? And I would ask Lio Rush that if I was management. And like, I'm glad you're confident, but we're putting you in a tag. Why are you not talking about the tag business? Why are you going into business for yourself? So, and yeah, Mark Henry and Lio Rush had beef. That's where the storyline is. Fuck world titles and all that shit, bro. And there's plenty of other guys who are far more believable than what Lio Rush could do. So why would you say things like this? It shows me when you say things like this, you don't get it and you don't see where you are in the business and what you need to do to get over. So, yeah. Mike Martin says Lio Rush has a lot of growing up to do. Yeah, dude. Well, I think he's hit his height peak. So good luck going past that. Maturity wise, I don't know, bro. And also just to make yourself this guy's tag partner when your intro thing was about money and business and you're a businessman who makes money. But now I'm going to wrestle because this guy needs me. Well, what happened to my Bitcoin investment, bro? Like, what are we talking about here? Aren't you supposed to be the rich guy who gets it all? But now you're backing losers, the guy who lost the match, and now you're going to put yourself alongside them. That's not a move upwards. That's a move sideways. So whatever, bro. But it's things like that I love on the fucking sheets, that they just are delusional about where they are, who they are, and what they are on the show. It's great to have that drive and want it, but you just undercut your tag partner, and you just undercut fucking your own vision in front of the locker room of anybody's going to see, and reality is Shelton Benjamin or Cedric Alexander should show up there, and even either of those guys probably wouldn't be world champions. So what chance is there for Lio Rush, to fulfill that empty promise? I don't know. Our final story of the day, door number 2, it was Rhea Ripley loses the WWE Women's Tag Team title while traveling. One half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Rhea Ripley, took to Twitter earlier today, hoping to spread the word that her luggage has gone missing. Among lost items is the women's tag team belts that Rhea travels with for press and appearances. Tweets out, all in caps. And this again goes to show how ignorant these kids are. Maybe it'll work. Maybe she'll get it back, but I doubt it. All in caps, lost gear bag. Then my Mosier Z of Albuquerque. I know this is a stretch, but if any of you have seen a black travel suitcase around Office Boulevard and Montano Road, Road, please hold on to it and let me know. It has all my gear in it, including my title. Cheers. It's been noted in the past that WWE will give replica titles to their stars when traveling and doing press. They also have a series of championship titles made specifically for TV that appear best on camera. Well, I mean, do they even have time? Have they had time to put women's tag titles out? So they're probably the real deal. And I agree, Stevie, that it probably was Khan and that he is the new women's champion, tag champion. Rhea and Nikki Ash, known as Super Brutality. Oh, the segments are super brutal. I'll tell you that much. And that, let's see, have been defending their tag titles on TV and WWE live events against Natalya and Tamina off TV right now. They have been champs since September 20th when they defeated Natty and Tamina and Charlotte. What a memorable night that was for everyone. And not only was that her only tweet, you guys, because there was a follow-up. Let me see here. I had sent it to here's Liv's ass one more time for you guys real quick, because that's what's important. There you go. Let's see, what did she put out there? Goddamn. And then second tweet, if you see any of my gear being sold online, please send the link my way. Why? You think you're going to be able to fucking hunt them down and catch them? Rhea Ripley fucking gumshoe? you think that people who fucking steal you're going to be able, like, that's what you're going to spend your time on now, is some fucking internet cyber sleuthing? And Rhea Ripley's coming to get you. Yeah, pal. Yeah, you guys like that donkey. Give me that donkey butt and them big old legs. I ain't too hard to beg. Ain't no shame in this game. Come on, break it down like James, please. Please. Baby, let me ride that. Japanese. You know how we do it here. But dude, you know, I get it. Jericho losing the title, the AEW title. Somebody else had their car broken into, I think, recently. It might have been Swerve Scott. Not much you can do there. Here's the thing. You can't ever leave your bag in the back seat. And this is for young workers, indie workers, what have you. You got to put your shit in the trunk, especially because, when, you know, not say they can't pop your trunk and won't get in there and junk in the trunk, but if they see a bag and stuff in the back seat, they're just going for it. And who knows? I don't know if they broke windows out. She's saying it was at this road. Did she have her bag, set it down, walk away, or was looking at her phone and somebody just came right up and took her shit? I don't know the ins and outs, but, you know, Albuquerque, New Mexico, I think that's where it was, right? Yeah. If you've seen a bag out there with a shitty title that's meaningless, she'd really like to have it back because, you know. But here's the itty bitty titty coin. Here's the thing with that. Shit, I just lost my train of thought. So somebody stole my fucking my ins and outs of it too. So of here's the thing with that. But yeah, put your shit in the trunk, you guys, and you're gonna have a lot less issues. Yeah, I guess Liv Morgan's butt threw me off there as you guys were talking about it all the way around. But that is all of our great stories here on the Monday Locker Room. I'm gonna jump back off and probably jump right on here with Big Steve Areno to do the Russo brand SmackDown review. Some rough shows this week all around on, well, I would say that there was a couple good segments there as they went head to head on Super SmackDown. So 2.5 hours to get through. Yeah. And you never know. I might have some skunk lips painted on in honor of these girls and the great job that they did. So, oh, here was my thing with Rhea Ripley. You don't put that shit on Twitter. Now she looks like a complete fool. It would have been way better to keep it under the rug, go to the office and be like, my shit got stolen, and play the victim and fucking da-da-da-da. Now you're going out looking for the title and you look like the fool. The office looks like fools for letting you walk around with the title. And now we all look like less than superstars. We look like human beings that the marks got to us and made us feel a certain way by stealing her shit. Instead of going to the office and playing the victim, which I'm sure has happened 100. I bet this has happened a dozen times before in the 90s. But guys, it doesn't get out because they're smart enough to work it the right way. So that's the other thing, kids. If your shit does get stolen and you're under contract, don't go to the internet in hopes that some super sleuthing is going to get it back. You're only going to look foolish and less than. And with this, not only was her credibility lowered from Rhea Ripley coming up from NXT fighting Charlotte. Oh, that she's kind of exposed as not ready. Let's put her with Nikki, who had a quick thing, and now both of them are marginalized and not doing it. Now let's show that they get their shit stolen and make them even more human and not superstar-like. Okay, because that's where we're at right now with this level of stuff. You need to learn how to kayfabe. You need to learn how to get the fuck off social media because it's killing your on-air business and it is shortening your life inside the WWE of being a contracted wrestler. And I don't care if it's for things like that are beyond your control or things that aren't, like getting your ass out, taking pictures with divas who are fired to show that we're all still besties because you're giving them the rub on your social media that WWE's watching while you are under contract. Meanwhile, they were fired for whatever heat variety of reasons. And that is you saying, we don't give a fuck about our jobs to the office and test me. It's my social media. I'll do what I want. Test me. Okay. We'll test you. We'll test you when you get beat in 1 minute and 21 seconds while you're saying you're ready to be queen of the ring. That's how the repercussions come. But these children that they hire, they're only going to understand it and learn it one way. And that's to fail again and again and again and again. And then some of them will never learn it until they're fired and outside of the bubble and go, oh, my time there was so frustrating. I wonder why. So y'all infidels, close to 90 minutes here as we wrap it up on the Monday locker room. Hopefully you are have a good week ahead heading into fall, getting your Halloween costumes ready. Try not to eat too much of that candy before the kids get there, you fat bastards, sugar sucking son of a bitches. And yeah, man, let me know what's going on with you at bin_Hamin, at hacker Hamin. If you want to give me a follow there, we're trying to get Hamin Media Group YouTube up over 1,000. So if you can make sure you're subscribed there. Had a fun time doing UFC and AEW and watch alongs this weekend, SmackDown 2 with you guys. So thanks everybody who showed up and subscribed or bit cheered there at twitch.tv/Hamin Media. I guess there was Infidel Appreciation Day at ProWrestlingTees.com. I missed that one fully, but also had some Cameo.com/BinHamin birthday orders. So I got to do those promos. So thank you for that, y'all. And everybody who's been hanging out here, we're 32 strong today. So y'all, from Jay Howell to Frank's Pickle Barrel Ass, my man TV's Tim Gilby, dancing Stevie Richards, the Canadian spaceman who was first in here. Yo Jimbo, Nova G, I like to see that name in there. J Cred 101, our own Mike Martin out in the Midwest doing it real big out there as well, man. Appreciate you guys hanging and interacting here with me on the Monday locker room. It's not the People Show, but that one might be returning as well soon enough. It's me, Brandon, a.k.a. Joke Biden. Go fuck yourselves, infidels. Yalla.